Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. Today we are going to make this 3D pumpkin. As you can see, this is a bit different from the conventional pumpkin that we are used to making in the shape of a sphere. I hope you enjoy making this pumpkin as well. Also, do refer to the description for details on the hook size, the yarn used, and all the other things needed for today's project. So we are going to start with this orange yarn. We are making a magic ring and then we're going to chain one. So this chain one will hold the magic ring in place, and you can take the magic ring out. And now into this magic ring you are going to make 6 single crochets. So this is the first single crochet, the second single crochet, third single crochet, the fourth single crochet, the fifth single crochet, and the sixth single crochet. So after the sixth single crochet, you'll pull the tail yarn tight to close the magic ring. And now we're going to move on to the next round. So for the next round, we're not going to slip stitch, we're just going to work on top of the first stitch. So make 1 single crochet on top of the first stitch, and using a stitch marker, or if you don't have a stitch marker, you can use a yarn of different color to mark this first stitch. You can also use the conventional method of slip stitching, chaining one and then moving to the next round, but I feel this is easier. So just make 1 single crochet and mark this stitch so that we know this is the first stitch of round number 2. So for round number 2, the pattern is to make 2 single crochets in each stitch. So we already made one. Now make the second single crochet in the same stitch. Similarly, in the next stitch also make 2 single crochets. So the making 2 single crochets in each stitch means we are making an increase in each stitch. So we'll be making this increase in all the 6 stitches, and by the end of this round you should have a total of 12 single crochets. So continue making 2 single crochets or an increase in each stitch. And similarly, when you reach the last stitch, to move on to the next round, you will be making 1 single crochet on top of the first stitch. So every time when you make the first stitch, make sure to mark the first stitch of the round. So here we are at the end of this round. So to move on to the next round, we are first going to remove this marker and make 1 single crochet on top of it, and we'll place the marker back. And now we will start round number 3. So for round number 3, the first 3 stitches will be 1 single crochet in one stitch, or sorry, 1 single crochet in each stitch. So the first one we already made. This is the second stitch, so we're making 1 single crochet. This is the third stitch and we're making 1 single crochet. Into the next 3 stitches we'll be making one increase. So into the next stitch, that is the fourth stitch, make an increase. That is, make 2 single crochets on the fourth stitch. On the fifth stitch also make an increase, so make 2 single crochets in the stitch, and into the sixth stitch also make an increase. So we'll repeat this set again. So into the first 3 stitches make 1 single crochet in each. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and into third stitch the third single crochet. Into the fourth stitch make an increase, so make 2 single crochets. So the reason we are using this pattern is because we want a oval shape, and this pattern will give us a oval shape at the end, and we don't want a roundish or sphere shape for the pumpkin. And in the last stitch make an increase again. So after this you should have a total of 18 single crochets by now. And to move on to the next stitch, remove the marker and make a single crochet on top of it and place the marker back. we are moving into round number 4. In round number 4, in the first 3 stitches we'll be making one single crochet in each. So this is the first stitch, make one, sorry, we already made the first stitch, this is the second stitch, and this is the third stitch, make one single crochet. Now we'll be repeating one single crochet and one increase 3 times. So one single crochet followed by one increase. This is the first set, followed by the second set, that is one single crochet and one increase. I have also given the pattern in the caption so that it is easy for you to follow along. So this is the second set, followed by the third set, that is one single crochet and one increase. After the third set, you will be making 3 more single crochets in the next 3 stitches. So make the first single crochet, the second single crochet, and the third single crochet. Following this, we will again make one single crochet followed by one increase, and we'll make 3 sets of it. So make the first set, one single crochet followed by one increase, the second set now, so one single crochet followed by one increase, and now the third set, so one single crochet followed by one increase. Now moving on to round number 5. So for round number 5, again we'll remove the marker and make our first single crochet on top of the first stitch. So for this round, the pattern is to make 5 single crochets in the first 5 stitches. So this is the first single crochet that we are going to mark it. Now make the second single crochet, the third single crochet, the fourth single crochet, and the fifth single crochet. Following this, we'll be making again 3 sets of one single crochet followed by one increase. So this is the first set, make one single crochet followed by an increase, now make the second set, so one single crochet followed by an increase, and now make the third set, one single crochet followed by an increase. So after the third set, we're going to make 6 single crochets in the next 6 stitches. So the first single crochet, the second single crochet, third single crochet, fourth single crochet, fifth single crochet, and the sixth single crochet. So after this, again we'll be making 3 sets of one single crochet followed by one increase. So make the first set, that is one single crochet followed by an increase, the second set, so one single crochet followed by an increase, and after this make the third set, one single crochet followed by an increase, and after this, after the 3 sets, you'll have one stitch left, so make one single crochet in the last stitch. So now we'll be moving on to round number 6. So for round number 6, in the first 7 stitches we'll be making 7 single crochets. So this is the first stitch, so we'll be marking it. Place the marker and then make 6 more single crochets. So this is the first single crochet, this is the second single crochet, the third single crochet, fourth single crochet, fifth single crochet, sixth single crochet, and the seventh single crochet. After that, again, like what we did in the previous rounds, we'll be making 3 sets of 1 single crochet followed by an increase. So this is the first set, and followed by the second set. So make 1 single crochet and followed by an increase, and followed by the third set, 1 single crochet and 1 increase. Now into the next 9 stitches you will be making 9 single crochets. So make 9 single crochets into the next 9 stitches. After the 9 stitches you will be making 3 sets of 1 single crochet followed by 1 increase. So this is the first set, this is the second set, the third set, and after the third set you will be left with 2 stitches. So make 2 single crochets in the last 2 stitches. So you should be left with a total of 36 single crochets at the end of this round. Now for round number 7, into the first 9 stitches you will make 9 single crochets. After the 9 single crochets you will again make 3 sets of 1 single crochet followed by 1 increase. You can refer to the caption for the pattern and follow the same. Also, if you feel that the video is fast forwarded at certain sections which is a repetition, you can always go to the speed settings in YouTube and reduce the speed if you want to see them in normal speed. I have increased it to fast forward because I feel it is a repetition, and already the pattern is listed in the caption, so it will be easy for you to follow. So for this round we making 9 single crochets followed by 3 sets of 1 single crochet followed by 1 increase, and then we make 12 single crochets in between, followed by again 3 sets of 1 single crochet followed by 1 increase, and at the end we make 3 single crochets over 3 stitches. And by the way, this is the almost a second last round, and once you are done with this round we will be working on the last round, which is nothing but a reverse single crochet. So continue making the stitches. You should have a total of 42 single crochets by the end of this round. So once you're done, I'm going to slip stitch to the first stitch, and after the slip stitch you're going to chain 1, and here we are going to make a reverse single crochet. So you have to put the loop, keep the loop a little bit loose, and then insert your hook into the previous stitch and then pull a loop and make a single crochet. So this is called as a reverse single crochet. You have to make sure that you're keeping the stitch loose so that it is easy for you to pull the loop in this reverse manner and make the single crochets. So for the reverse single crochet, insert your hook into the previous stitch, pull two loops and pull a loop through them. Similarly, insert your hook into the previous stitch and pull a loop through both of them. So you'll be continuing this till you reach the first stitch, and since the previous round had 42 stitches, here too you should have a total of 42 stitches. So continue making one reverse single crochet in each stitch till you reach the first stitch. So we will follow this pattern and make a total of 6 of these oval shapes for the pumpkin. You can add more layers if you want, but I feel 6 is enough to bring out the pumpkin shape. So here we are almost at the end of this round, and once you reach the last stitch, then you're going to turn your work and then slip stitch to the first stitch. So for the 5 oval shapes, you can make a chain one and trim the yarn, and you can stitch in the tail yarns. But for the 6th oval shape, you will leave a long tail yarn. So here I'm just showing you how to stitch in the tail yarn. You have one tail yarn in the center. You can just pass it through few existing stitches and then trim off. Similarly, for the tail yarn at the last round, you're going to pull through few existing stitches and then trim it off. You can also dab a bit of glue to secure the ends. So this is how you'll make 5 of them, and the 6th one, as I said, you'll leave a long tail yarn before trimming it off. So you will use this long tail yarn to stitch the oval shapes together to make the pumpkin pattern. So here I have a total of 6 of these, and you will be folding them in this manner. You should have the right side on the inner side and the wrong side on the outer side. Place stack them together this way, and using a needle you will be stitching the top part of all the pieces together. So insert your needle through the top join or top folded area of all the 6 oval shapes and pass the needle through all of them, and then pull it through all of them. So we're stitching the top part, and once we're done with the top part, we'll stitch the bottom part also. So first we are stitching the top part. So once you have passed the needle through all of them, you can arrange it in a circular manner this way. And now connect the first one to the last one. So insert your needle through the first oval piece. So there is no wrong or right way of doing this. The only thing we need to do is to stitch the top part of the folded oval pieces together. So just to make it secure, I'm going to pull the needle through all of the top sections one more time. So I'm just passing through the top section a second time, just to ensure that the pieces are connected together in a secure manner. So pull through the stitches tightly, and once you reach the first piece, you can place a knot here, or you can just turn it upside down, and now we're going to stitch the bottom section. So the bottom section also we are going to stitch in a similar manner. Insert your hook through the first piece, then connect the second piece followed by the third piece, and similarly connect all the pieces together. So here you can just stack one on top of the other, and later on you can shape it. So insert the hook through the bottom section of all the parts, and then connect the first to the last one, and you can go through the round through all the pieces one more time to make it extra secure. And once you're done, you need to place a knot and pull the yarn tight, and then trim off the extra yarn. So here we are almost done with the body of the pumpkin. So if you want to have more layers, you can add, like I have added six pieces of oval, I mean six oval pieces. You can add like 7 or 8 and make it a thicker version, or you'll have more layers to the pumpkin. So trim off the extra yarn, and you can hide the tail yarn by pulling it to the inner side of the pumpkin. So after this we are done with the body of the pumpkin. Next we are going to make the stem of the pumpkin. So for this we have used a 4 mm crochet hook. For the stem we are going to use a smaller size crochet hook, that is 3.5 mm. All these details will be available in the description of this video as well, so please refer the video. So here too, with the green yarn we are going to make a magic ring, and we're going to chain one. Now we can take the magic ring out of our fingers, and into this magic ring for the first round we are going to make 10 single crochets into the magic ring. So this is the first single crochet. So the chain one does not count as a stitch, and apart from the chain one we are going to make 10 single crochets into the magic ring. So continue making the single crochets until you have 10 single crochets. If you want a thinner stalk of the pumpkin, instead of 10 you can also make 8 single crochets. This will give you a thinner stem or stalk of the pumpkin. So after 10 single crochets, pull the tail yarn and close the magic ring. And now for round number 2, all we're going to do is make 1 single crochet on top of each stitch. So here too we're not going to slip stitch, we're just going to continue making this second round on top of the first round. So to mark the first stitch of the round, you can use a stitch marker or a yarn of different color and mark this first stitch. So mark the first stitch and continue making 1 single crochet on top of each stitch. So at the end of round number 2 also you will have 10 single crochets. So this is round number 2 and we're just making 1 single crochet on top of each. So the pattern is actually going to be the same for the total of 7 rounds. We are just going to make 1 single crochet on top of each stitch, and the total count will be 10 single crochets at the end of each round. And based on the length of your stalk, how you want it, you can either add extra rounds or you can reduce the number of rounds that you add to this pattern. So this is the second round, and after the end of the second round again you will be removing the marker, making the first stitch of the next round and placing the marker back, and then continue making 1 single crochet in each stitch. And as you continue making this 1 single crochet, you will see the pattern will curve and start taking the shape of a stalk. So continue this pattern until you have a total of 7 rounds, or based on the number of rounds that you want to add. So I have fast forwarded this section because it is basically a repetition of the same that we did in the previous round. So I'm just making one single crochet on top of each for a total of 7 rounds. And as you can see, as like as I complete 7 rounds, it takes the form of the stalk. After the seventh round, you're going to slip stitch to the first stitch. So this slip stitch I'm making only to the front loop of the stitch, and after that I'm going to make a chain of 20. So this chain of 20 will be using it to make a spiral that will be attached to the stem. So make a chain of 20. If you want a longer spiral, you can add more chains to it. Now starting from the second chain from the hook, you're going to make 2 half double crochets into the stitch, followed by 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. So in each of the chains you will be making, or each of the stitches you will be making 2 half double crochets. So as you continue making this half double crochets, 2 half double crochets in each stitch, the chain will start to coil and look like a spiral. So continue making these half double crochets throughout the entire length of this chain of 20. So as we make these half double crochets, you can see that the chain starts to coil and look like a spiral. So this is the last stitch of this chain, so make 2 half double crochets in it, and after this we will be making the base of this stem. So for that, first we'll be slip stitching to the first stitch. So we'll be using only the front loop for each stitch. So make a chain of 2, and into the same stitch make 2 half double crochets. So the pattern for this round is to make two double crochets in each stitch, that is the front loop of each stitch. Since the first stitch already had a chain 2, we made only one double crochet. In the next stitch we'll be making 2 double crochets, and as you can see I am using only the front loop of each stitch. So use the front loop and make 2 double crochets in each stitch. So continue making these double crochets till you reach the first stitch, and make sure you're working only on the front loop of each stitch. So since our stem had a total of 20 stitches, and we're making an increase of 1 double crochet in each, so by the end of this round you should have a total of 20 double crochets. And as you can see, we are using the front loop. So once we are done with our 20 double crochets, we will be slip stitching to the top of our first stitch, and while we are doing that, make sure that we are moving the spiral to the outer side. So move the spiral to the outer side, and so move it once you're done with. So we have 2 more double crochets left, it seems. So make the last 2 double crochets, and then move the spiral to the outer side, and below it find the first stitch or the top of the chain 2 and make a slip stitch here, and then after that chain 1 and leave a long tail yarn, and then trim off. This tail yarn we will be using it to stitch this stem to the top of the pumpkin. So here we are done with the stem and its base with the spiral attached to it. Now we are going to attach this base to the top of the pumpkin. So to stitch the pumpkin to the base of the stem, we are going to insert a needle through this slice of, or through this section of the pumpkin, and pull it through the base of the stem. And wherever there is no section of the pumpkin, we can just pull the needle through the base of the stem alone. And again, when we reach the next piece of the pumpkin, we can stitch and connect the two pieces together. So since this pumpkin has like slices or sections of it, so wherever there is a section, we are going to stitch that to the base of the stem, and wherever there is an empty space, through that stitch alone we can just pull the yarn through it. So as you can see here, we are connecting the pumpkin and the base of the stem together, and into the next stitch I'm just passing through the stitch alone and pulling through it. So here too we are connecting the pumpkin with this base of the stem, and in this empty space I'm just passing the needle through the base of the stem alone. So there is no right or wrong way of doing this. The whole point is to attach the base of the stem to the pumpkin in such a manner that these pieces are evenly distributed. To make it easier, you could also directly use a fabric glue and paste the base of the stem to the top of the pumpkin. So here, after we have gone through the entire round, we are just placing few knots and then trimming off. So here our pumpkin is ready. You can also use fabric stiffener to bring the shape out. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for notifications on new videos. And leave your comment and give me a thumbs up, guys. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.